Hello, today we're going to go over completing and e-filing a tax return using the direct input method. Now, once you're into the return that you need to file, you're looking at the direct input page here. All information has been entered, W-2s, 1099s, schedules B, C, D, E, F, whatever it may be. You are ready to go. All right, so what you're going to want to do first, after all information has been entered, we need to add the 8879. So over here on the left hand side of the page, you can either use the form tree here or the form search. I like the form search, so I'm going to type in 8879 and I'm going to proceed to this screen. Now you've got two options here where you can e-file using practitioner PIN or the self-select PIN. Self-select PIN will have you enter taxpayers' prior year AGI and PIN, as well as provide an optional 5-digit PIN. Personally, I like practitioner PIN, but it's whatever works best for you. You'll just want to enter the information on this screen, make the selections that you need to make, and once you've done so, just press save. And now you'll see down here in the bottom right corner under Forms, the 8879 has been put into your tax return. So, our next step is to verify and complete this return. So if we look here towards top center, we got our verify and complete buttons. We're going to start with verify. This is going to run a diagnostic check on the return. So let's click on verify, and I have no errors found in the federal return. And you're going to want to check the state as well up here at the top. So I've just got one state. I'm going to check it, and no errors have been found in my Missouri return as well. So I'm just going to go up here and close this window. Since there are no errors, I'm going to click on complete now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer these three questions. I'm going to answer yes, that my return has been completed. I'm going to answer yes, that I am ready to mark this return as reviewed. And I'm going to make sure that this option is selected to file electronically. You must answer yes to these two questions first. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to e-file this return. Now, once you have made your selections, you have two choices down here. Save and close will return you back to the direct input, back to the tax return, or save and redirect will take you back out to the manage return section. So, given that I'm done with this return, I have nothing else to enter, I'm going to click on save and redirect to manage returns. Alright, now that I'm back here on the manage return screen for this client, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. This next step is required to e-file, and it is entering client payment information. This one is key. If you're going to be using a bank product, refund transfer, advance, any of those options with your client, this is where you will do that. But let's get started by clicking on Start Payment. And I am going to add new invoice. And because of my pricing setup, I have it set up to enter a manual charge for each return. I'm going to put in my prices here. Now, if you had a fixed rate or per form, you may be bypassing this page and it will take you on to the next one. But if you have a manual, you're going to set your price manually, you will see the screen. So once I've entered my price here, I'm going to click on continue. And I'm going to see a summary of charges here. Here's my federal charge, my state charge, the total charge here. If I'm going to add any additional charges or discounts, I'm going to click on modify charges. This is where I would go to add any discounts or additional charges. You can if you want to. It is not required. Since I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to click on continue. It'll take me back to this page. Now, the key thing here is this payment mode for non-banking or banking. Non-banking means they're going to do cash, check, credit card, money order, any other way. That's how they're going to be paying you. Banking here is when they're going to be using a refund, transfer, or advance product. So this is key. You must make sure you are selecting banking to be able to use one of those products. Now I'm going to save that for another video, but so for this one, I'm just going to select non-banking, and they're going to pay the $125 in full. So now I'm going to click on continue. And on this following screen, I'm going to say yes, they are going to make the payment now. If no, and they're going to do an invoice to be paid later, you can just select no, invoice only, and it will take away those options. But let's just say for this scenario, we are going to make a payment now. I'm going to say, yeah, they're going to pay by cash. You can select check, and you can enter the check number. Same with the money order or credit card. But for this one, we're just going to do cash. They're paying in full, and the invoice is completed because they are paying in full. Now, you will have the question down below, do you want to e-file this return now? If you indicate yes, it's going to immediately take you to the review page for e-filing the federal and state return, where you can check the boxes and make the indications you want to e-file federal and state, and then click Transmit Now. If I say no, it's just going to take me back to the invoice screen. And we're just going to say no this time so I can kind of show you the process on how you're going to e-file. So I'm going to say no, I don't want to e-file now. And I'm going to click on Save and Continue. So now, here we are back at the client payment details. Payments in cash, nothing is due. I can always go back and click on Make Payment to review the information. I can add new invoice to add a second invoice, and I can print off or preview the invoices down here below. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Back to Manage Returns because I am ready to e-file this return. So let's go back, and we're back on our Manage Return screen. Now, if I scroll down to the bottom here, my e-file, your return is ready for e-file, and Transmit Now option is available. So this is the screen that you would immediately go to if you were to select yes, that you want to e-file now. So let me click on Transmit Now. And so I'm going to check the box that I'm going to e-file the 1040. And for the state piggyback, I'm going to select Missouri. As you notice down here, state only e-file disappears. You may have options down here, especially if you have multiple states or maybe direct file states. But here I am. I've indicated that I'm going to file the 1040 return as well as the Missouri return. Now, Add to Queue puts it into a batch. It kind of puts it off to the side. It doesn't e-file it now. It just sets it off to the side to be batch e-filed with a group of returns later on. Transmit Now will send this return right away. No waiting. It will go. So let's go ahead and let's transmit now. All right, there we go. So now we have transmitted this return, and you can see this 1040 has been queued. The Missouri return has been queued as well. I can always come back to the screen to check the status. I can always go over here to e-file to check the status as well. And you can always come here to e-file if you ever need to remove this return from the queue. So if you do need to remove the return from the queue, you would want to go to e-file, click on queued here, and you're going to have an option here with this little symbol here. So if we click on this and just click on Save and Continue, I have now pulled this return out of the queue. I can go back and edit. So let me show you here. If I go to Clients and my e-file example here, this is the one. And once you return back to the Clients Manage Return screen, you'll see that the federal and Missouri returns are eligible for e-file once again. Your edit icon is active, so you can go back in and make your changes. And once you are really ready to e-file this return, you can scroll down and you can click on Transmit Now once again to resend that tax return. And that's how you complete an e-file a tax return.